What's up, my sexy bitches? Welcome to Bad Money. If you guys didn't know, now you know. I literally called the top on gold and silver, so follow me at Bad Money 619. I also called the top on Bitcoin. But today we're going to be talking about this chart. We're going to break this down because you see, every time we break out of these resistance, you see this yellow line. This was the last bear on Bitcoin. Look how this yellow line held the price down for multiple touches. Once it broke out, what happened? Boom, we came back down and kissed it. And that's exactly what's going to happen now, because this is, as a trader, this is how you maximize your profits. And for most of us, it means max pain. But I was also warning you guys about this resistance and exactly where Bitcoin was going to hit once it broke out of this yellow line. I told you guys there was going to be an explosion up to this resistance, but then not to freak out when the retest happened. And this is what this video is all about, right? And look, I had posted this resistance a while back. See right there, right here, right? Look, in April 22nd, I had already given you this two yellow lines that we had entered between 84 and 80 or whatever this is, right? So let's go into the charts. Let's go into Trading View. If you guys don't know, this is Trading View. It's completely free. You can look at all your favorite stocks and all your cryptocurrencies. And let's zoom in here. So this is the same line, right? This is what I'm saying. Every time we break out of these resistance, we always come back and we kiss the line, right? And that's what I think is going to happen right now. Here's the resistance I gave you guys. We were rejected also by this green line, which is the 200 moving daily average. And I think we're going to the 200 weekly moving average, because that's what we always do at the end of these cycles, right? Not just Bitcoin, but gold and silver and stocks. They always come back down to their medium, uh to their fair value, right? This is where you make the most money, when you come down to these touches, right? Look at the end of this bear, boom. That was a nice entry. We even came back down and retested it, maybe even a little lower. So that could happen this time, right? We also had our signal here going off on the weekly. It's only gone off a couple of times, but right here literally gave you this bottom, and then it went off right here again. It went off right here, right? Oh, I put some markers. It went off right here once, and then the price broke out of this resistance, this yellow line. We came down and tested, and this indicator went off again. And now, I did give you guys this bottom with the weekly, right? This is how we got the weekly. This is how we got the current bottom that we're in. I think we could come down and touch this blue line, but maybe we spike down into this green line, and maybe as low as, I would say, worst case scenario for us would be here. Yeah, this would be the worst case scenario. This is where you liquidate everyone and your mom. This is at $54,344. Okay, so anywhere between here and here we could go. I think we're gonna touch this blue line. I think we could touch the green line, and I think we could spike, get a little John Wick. And either way, I'm see how my indicator here went off. It's only gone off like a couple times throughout history. But I think it's gonna go off again, and I believe that this is going to be your last call on not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies. Because I don't know if you guys are paying attention, right? But we have all this things happening in the house, right? With our politicians, they're about to pass the Clarity Act. We already have the Genius Act. The banks are highly involved trying to fight crypto on yields. It's getting crazy, right? And they've been telling you for years that crypto is dead, but yet BlackRock and all these and Chase are involved in buying cryptocurrencies. I think Chase just is connected with Ondo now. They're buying bonds and stocks. So this is what I'm telling you guys. This is what the rich people, the people with the money, have been waiting for, which is good and bad. It's actually kind of sad for me because crypto is losing its mojo, right? But look, we gave you guys the current bottom on Bitcoin with the daily. I did a whole video about this. So again, follow me at BadMoney619 on X for the latest updates, right? Which is where here, there, right? We got the bottom. So we got it multiple ways with the blue line on the weekly and with the daily, right? But now we were here, and I was telling you guys that when we broke out of this resistance, that we were gonna come into this zone, and that's exactly what we did. The 200 moving daily average is also there, so it's rejecting the price. So now, guess what? We got to come back and retest this yellow line. So that's why I'm in a chart myself. I'm up like 200, 100%. Let's see, on Hyperliquid, I have a short. Maybe I should take profits just in case there's a fake out. I'll show you guys right now where the fake outs could be. But here it is, right? I'm up 233%, and I'm doing a 40x. Ooh, it looks weird, but there you go, guys. Right? So I'm warning you guys about this. I'm just starting to believe in the lines, right? This is not financial advice, but I just showed you multiple ways. We call the top on gold the same way. We call the top on silver the same way. We call the bottoms on Bitcoin silver, Bitcoin gold, which I can also show you guys. But let's say we don't come all the way over here. I guess let's see what zones could maybe bounce this price. Maybe here. I think we're about to. I want to see what happens here. This is on the daily, so let's make this yellow. Maybe it could be. Let me see. So from here to here, from here to here, to the next open candle, to the next open candle. So let's do this live. Let's see where we could get a potential bounce. All right, here to here. All right, so maybe I think Bitcoin's going to at least here. Maybe there's some sort of fake out. Then watch out for the zone. So that's a possible zone that could bounce it. Maybe it could bounce here. Yes, because there's no uh, white candle below this level. But this is really the good one. Yeah, I would be looking for this price right here at 63,935. I think that's where I'm going to get out of my short. And I'm probably gonna take a long, but with the awareness that we might spike down all the way over here to liquidate everyone and their mom, right? To hit the 200 moving average, this green line. But this is where I'm gonna go long with the tight stop loss, just in case we get a little John Wick to down, maybe down to here, right? But I wouldn't worry about it, guy. I wouldn't worry about this, guys. Look, this indicator's only gone off in all of Bitcoin's history. Like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And this is on the weekly. Let's try the 2 weekly. I think we get a more clean signal here. Yeah. Look, it went off here, which obviously would have been a great buy. Let's zoom in here. I bet it was at the end of a bear. It went off here for the first time. And that would have been an awesome buy, right, into Bitcoin itself. The next time it went off on the 2 week, it was here. So let's see what happened there. Right here. So almost a bottom, but we got a little fake out, which is what I think could happen this time, right? When it came back down and kissed this yellow line. And now it's going off here. So maybe it is the bottom. Or maybe we get a double bottom, right, where we go a little bit lower just to liquidate everyone that was going long there. Max pain, right? So that's what we're waiting for. Maybe we come back down to this yellow line, and that's going to be bottom. That's what I'm saying, guys. This is going to be your last call on cryptocurrencies. Let's look at other charts, okay? So this is the Bitcoin dominance. I had this chart for years now, guys. My prediction was that we were gonna touch this orange line on the weekly on top. We didn't quite touch it, but maybe if Bitcoin dumps really hard, maybe we could. But I also been saying that, well, this one's gone now. That once we go below this yellow line, break here for altcoin season. I think altcoin season is gonna start where we break this line, and I had this forever, right? You can go back to my X page, but look how many times we've been bouncing here. This is on the 2 weeks, right? So let's go. We've been bouncing here for months, guys. It's insane. And my whole plan was just to buy altcoins up here and to not sell or take profits until we hit this red line, but it just hasn't happened. My plan hasn't happened, and that's why I didn't think Bitcoin was gonna dump this hard. Also, we didn't have the pie top indicator. I thought maybe Bitcoin was gonna be able to maintain. I think I was hoping we were gonna stay up here at one point, um, but we didn't. But we did hold it for multiple weeks. Again, I don't know if these lines are going to hold. I just know they're going to bounce the price, right? But it didn't hold. We lost it. And but then I did give you this bottom in two multiple ways. I made a whole video about it. On top of that, let me show you guys gold, right? Because I did call the top on gold using the same techniques. I found this little hill right here. I did my thing, right? Found these lines until I found got to the right point, and then I noticed that look how many times we bounced it, and then when gold went under it, we came back and kissed it. And gold literally didn't break its all-time high, which is this yellow line right here. This is in 2011, August of 2011, and gold didn't completely break that price until here, right? Until October of 2023. So like 10 years later. And then look what happened. Gold just exploded, boom, right into our line. And guess what? Let me show you the manipulation. This is silver. This is the same exact chart, guys. Okay, this is the manipulation that's happening behind the scenes with the crypto cartels and the people that own our money today. All this stuff that's going on in Congress with Clarity and the Genius Act, it's all fucking WWE to take your cryptocurrencies, to have you guys dump it and not believe in it. Look, it's the same chart. Look, boom, boom, bounces, came back up, kiss, and boom, it went sideways back into a line for like 10 years. And this is silver. And the way I knew to look for this line is because I was looking at this chart, Bitcoin versus gold. Again, it's on my X. We were here at the time where I started posting for it, and I was looking for a top on gold, a possible. I was looking for a line on gold, which I found because I knew that Bitcoin versus gold was reaching this low of lows, right? And look what's happened ever since I hit it. It's been bouncing, but again, look, we're meeting some new resistance, and I think we could come back down and retest. That would make sense. That would make perfect sense. And look at silver, Bitcoin measure in silver, sorry. Same chart, guys. This is clear manipulation. Okay? Cryptocurrency, this is your last call on cryptocurrencies. We have AI agents mining crypto, making transactions for people with cryptocurrency because you're not gonna want to give them access to your bank accounts, and the AI agents don't know what to do with fiat money. They need cryptocurrencies. They need the blockchain. They're also gonna need NFTs for avatars. AI agents are going to need crypto wallets to do these transactions for you. So we need to pay attention, guys. On top of that, I believe that I've been predicting this on my X that the dollar is going to collapse. Look, we already have multiple rejections off of this orange line, and it's starting to look weak. If you see the dollar come under here and hit its head here, watch out. We're coming down to test this line. Okay. On top of that, this is the total crypto market. So this is, like it says right here, crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We did have this bottom here. I made a whole video about it, but I think we could come back down and hit this 200 moving average before we move higher. And on top of that, look, we have our signal, my little signal here. It went off right here once. That would have been a great buy. It went off right here, which was a fake out because then we had a second drop, which is what I think could happen this time again. And now we had our first signal right here at this last bottom. And I think we could come back in and touch this green line and get a second signal. So that's sort of what my prediction is, right? Again, I don't know if these lines are going to hold. I just know they're going to bounce it. But this is screaming to me last call. Pay attention to the regulation. Pay attention what's happening with AI. AI actually needs blockchain in order to work to its full potential, guys. And then let's look at some alts, like my favorites, Cardano ADA. I think this is where we get this 10-cent ADA, so watch out from this line. We were trying to hold this line, but we're under it now. And if Bitcoin dumps, I expect ADA to come here. So I have a buy right here, like a 10-cent ADA, guys. Look, the signal is going off. It went off right here, here, and here, right? So a little fake out. It's going off all over here, so this could be a fake out. But when it comes here, I think it's gonna go off again. And what is this ADA Bitcoin dominance, maybe a Bitcoin dumps, maybe we come back and retest this line. We'll see. Now let's go into midnight. This is related to Cardano in the sense that Charles and um, IO are working on this project. It's only a couple weeks old since last year, right? I think we're gonna get a 2 cent midnight, so be prepared for that. I think we come back down and test this line. See, we broke out of here. At one point, we had it here. So maybe this is the line, but maybe we spike back to here. I'm not sure, but I could see us coming to here. So this is where I'll leave it. And if it comes anywhere near here, yeah, we're talking about a 2 cent midnight, maybe even 0.016 or 5. So I have a couple buys down there for midnight, but it's not just Cardano and midnight, which a lot of people hate because it's actually decentralized, and BlackRock and Circle and all these people don't really own it, although I think they are starting to buy it. And that kind of makes me sad, but that's a video for another day. That's another bad money video where we talk about the crypto cartels. Let's go check out some more alts like Ethereum. Like Ethereum, we had this chart here for forever too, for weeks, from all the way over here. And look, we gave you the next bounce and the next bounce in just one line, guys. I just show you the power of these lines. You don't need all these indicators and all this fancy stuff that people are trying to sell you. All this stuff in my screen is completely free. And if you guys are interested in, so I can show you how I do this, I can do that in another video. Just let me know. Or whether alts you guys would like to check out. I don't mind. I love drawing lines. I can do this on stocks, whatever you want. Um, it works on all the things. Look, the signal went off here. That would have been a great buy for Ethereum. It went off right here. Great time to buy Ethereum. And it went off right here. It's going off. Are we going to get a little fake out? Maybe. I think Ethereum could come back down and touch this line. Um, we'll see. Maybe it comes down and a little lower. Maybe it goes. Where would it go? I bet if it came lower, I bet it's. Yeah, I bet it kisses like one of these, like something like this. Boom, son. Maybe as low as this line. $1,460 Ethereum. Maybe. Let me draw a line here on Ethereum. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, let me see where we're at. I haven't touched this chart in a while. Yeah, we hit this resistance here. We got this bottom. We're coming back into it. On the daily. I wonder where it's going. Maybe I would say it would have been. No, that's way too low. Right here. That's probably too low. I'm not sure. But as you guys can see, Ethereum's gonna. It's also correcting. So watch out, guys. This is Ethereum versus. This is dominance. Ethereum dominance, and it's been held down for this yellow line for years now, guys. Look how many times this line has held it down. We've broken out of it, but look, we're struggling, and Ethereum's coming back down here. So let's see what happens here with Ethereum dominance. The ones that are doing pretty good. A good thing about some Hyperliquid down here. This is still pumping, but I think Hyperliquid could crash and come all the way over here maybe if Bitcoin dumps hard. Maybe not. Maybe it comes back down and touches this green line and then it bounces. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not sure about Hyperliquid. It's looking pretty strong and it's actually making profits unlike other cryptocurrencies, right? So that was a great buy. XRP, I was analyzing this chart earlier and these are the two lines to pay attention to. Um, this one right here. So if Bitcoin crashes, is at $1. $1 XRP is where I think we could come to, possibly as low as over here at 0.65 cents. But let me see where the 200 moving average is on the weekly. The signal's going off, obviously. The last time the signal went off was right here. and before that it was here. So maybe we get a double signal, sort of like this on XRP. It's going off here, and maybe if it comes back down to this line, it's gonna go off again, and that's when I'm gonna buy a bunch of XRP because you gotta swim with the fucking whales, right? Even though they are part of the crypto cartels, Ethereum, and all these people. Hey, I got a kid on the way, and we gotta make some money, right? Now, Sui, look at all these charts too. It's kind of interesting. I'm looking at these charts, how they're breaking out of their resistance, and people are getting excited just last week. And I was telling people right on my X, watch out for the retest. Look, BTC creeping into resistance, major levels overhead, trend line pressure. This is where decisions get made. It says, stay sharp, levels don't lie, right? I was talking about a retest. See, BTC retest loading. And everyone was getting all excited about crypto again. And look, now we're coming back down. So I think Sui could come back down and touch this yellow line. Look at the HBAR, same thing. It never actually touched my line, so I think HBAR is going to touch it if Bitcoin dumps. But same story, right? Look at all these altcoins; they're just dead in the water. This is when you want to buy crypto, right? You don't want to buy gold. Even now, it's still correcting. Look, it's 200 moving averages down here. Why would you buy gold up here? We literally call the top. I think gold still has to cool up. I do think it's gonna go up just because the dollar again is gonna collapse. So that means everything else is gonna go up in price, right? But let's continue. Look, let's check out World Liberty. Let's see what Trump. Let's see what the Trump brothers are doing here. It's just dumpage. I think it could touch this line. It's on the weekly. It's going to the daily. Signal's going off. It's been going off forever. Maybe it does come all the way over here, or maybe, maybe we're here now. So maybe it just comes down to there. So we'll find out, guys. But I don't know. I don't have any World Liberty Financial. Do you guys? Let me know. ICP. This is one of my favorite charts. it's just, it's just death, dude. This is. And I think ICP is gonna come back sometime. I don't know if it's ever gonna go back up here to where it started, like at $500, if I'm correct. Um, but here we are. We're bouncing inside this triangle. We had this line here on my X for a long time. Multiple rejections off of this line, and we've been riding this line here. So maybe ICP can come back down and retest it. That would give you like a if it comes back here and retests, it's going to be like a 28-cent ICP. Now let's check out Ondo. Look at the shenanigans here. A couple weeks ago, I was warning people about this how it's flattening after it hit its level right here that I gave you guys from all the way over here, like the last levels of last levels. And I think we could come back down and respike it if Bitcoin dumps. But again, people were getting so excited. Oh my God, Ondo's going up like 50%, blah, 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 blah. And then now you get the retest, right? You broke out of this resistance. And it's just classic. This is just what happens. You got to come back and do the retest before you can move up. This is where you get the liquidity. This is where you scare everyone and their mom out of their bags right before the pump. Same thing, I think, with Coinbase too. Yeah. Look, all cryptos look the same. They have this yellow line. They're breaking out. They're coming back to retest. Tau looks a little different. I bought some Tau, so I'm pretty happy down here, but I think it could go a little lower. Hopefully not. So this is the line I was doing, so maybe it can come over here, or maybe it's starting to build some sort of new line, and maybe it holds something like from here to here. I could see that. Maybe Tau comes to this line, and that's the end of it. But I'll leave it here for the record. Let's see what happens. I also have Tau. What is this? Morpho? I want to buy Morpho just because I think it's going to do good. I think Coinbase is behind this. But I didn't want to buy it up here, and I'm really happy. I was really feeling the FOMO. It was just going up, up, and up. But right here, we're about to hit our first resistance. I probably won't touch Morpho until here or here. Okay, Solana. Same thing. Looks like every other cryptocurrency, guys. Here's some lines of support. I think Solana could come back down and touch this yellow line, which would be at 32. Oh, this is market cap. Oh, it says solid market cap. All right, so I need to get a. I'll work on a different chart for you guys next time. But it looks exactly the same, pretty much, guys. Just wait for the touch of the yellow line. So that's my case. I've been telling you guys to wait for the retest. Don't get shaken out, guys. It could be a spike, like just a hard drop. So get ready. I got my buy set for a couple of these cryptocurrencies like XRP and ADA and Midnight and Solana um, and Morpho. And I'm probably going to get more Tau and more Hyperliquid. Um, so get ready. The retest is coming, and this is your last call on cryptocurrencies. Pay attention to what's happening in the world. Let's see what's going on with the regulation. Yeah, because I know that they had passed some part of the Clarity Act, and people were saying it passed, but I don't think it was 100%. I don't even think I think it'll probably pump once Trump signs the bill into law, right? And I'm not happy about this law. The banks are rigging all of crypto in their favor, of course. Why would else would they let crypto be if they weren't going to benefit from it? They would have gone against it, which, in my opinion, would have been the best thing that could have happened to cryptocurrencies if the governments would have banned them. This is really what cryptocurrency was made for, so we could build a parallel system before ours breaks. Bitcoin proved to us Bitcoin is a Trojan horse. It proved that we don't need centralized banks or middlemen or all these things in order for people to transact with one another, right? So let's see. The latest crypto regulation update. The short version is that the US is moving from regulation by lawsuit towards actual framework. The markets are treating it as bullish. The big thing right now is the Clarity Act moving through the Senate process. So it's still moving through the Senate process. Clarity Act equals SEC versus CFTC battle may finally get rules, right? We're trying to figure out what's a commodity and what's what you might call it security, right? So the current version moving through the Senate would roughly split crypto into CFTC. It's going to control decentralized digital commodities like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano. There was a whole list they dropped, right? And the SEC is going to regulate the securities or centralized offerings. So there's like rules or how fully decentralized a blockchain has to be in order to be considered a commodity instead of a security because it's going to go under different regulations, right? So add rules for exchange disclosure inside trading. This matters. Stablecoin law already happened. Yeah, so still going through the process here for ADA, XRP, and Solana Ethereum people. You asked this before. This direction seems to be BTC is the easiest commodity case, and the rest of these are likely depending on decentralization plus network structure test under the framework. I don't know why XRP or Solana are even considered decentralized, but that's what they're saying. ADA is actually decentralized. That's why it's one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. Um, so yeah, guys, pay attention. On top of that, look, I think we have. Well, we had where is it? The Strait of Hormuz was still closed, right? And Iran was asking for cryptocurrencies. Look at this. We have our first use case. So again, pay attention, guys. Iran's asking for crypto. Okay, we have AI agents mining crypto, using crypto, doing transactions. This is just the beginning. Regulations about to pass. This is your last call. Wake up, everyone. Follow me at Bad Money 619. I was ahead of the game with the bottom on Bitcoin, with the top on gold. And I told you guys before people were getting all excited last week about Bitcoin's pumping again. And I told you to hold on, that there was going to be a retest. But now I'm telling you, this is your last call on crypto. All right, guys. I love y'all. See you guys on the next one. Peace.